Hey everyone, I've got a booster box here of Dragon's Maze. Kind of been putting off opening this, but I wanted to get some videos out there. Now that Modern Masters kind of died down a little bit, and just wanted to see, get more interest in the most recent set, and then when M14 comes out, we'll open some packs and boxes there as well. From what I hear, the box mapping on Dragon's Maze has been harder. About a third of the boxes have been shuffled up by Wizards, and pack removal, a lot of fun stuff. I don't particularly like lending to box mapping, so we're just going to shuffle up off camera here in case these were mapped or were not shuffled. And just take a look at, probably open about half these packs in the box. This first video, then I'll open up another few later on. So, alright, get down to the bottom here. So we've got a few packs we'll just go right into. And see what we can pull out. I have not pulled a Voice of Resurgence yet in any of my loose packs and or what do you call them, fat packs, stuff like that. So hoping to get one of those and then Shocklight or two and see what else comes up. Just go through the uncommons and rare. First uncommon is Tristani Summoner, Bred for the Hunt, Blaze Commando. And our rare is Catch and Release, which is a sorcery fuse card that has, for 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 red, gain control of target permanent until end of turn, untap it, it gains haste until end of turn, and then release, which is a 4 generic, 1 red, 1 white. Each player sacrifices an artifact, a creature, and an enchantment, a land, and a planeswalker. So this being good if you're playing USA, red, white, blue, and know that your opponent has a planeswalker out there, and you've got one that you can let go if you're playing one. And we have a foil right off the top here, Warp Physique. Looks like a Hulk kind of guy. It's a Dimir card, 1 black, 1 blue. Target creature gets plus X minus X until the end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So that's cool. Be careful when you use it. And a Simic Guildgate. Pack 2. Jalen Sphinx. Restore the Peace. Gleam of Battle. And our rare, Dragon Shift. This is actually another card that I've been wanting to get for my Izzet deck. It's a 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 red. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a 4/4 blue and red dragon, loses all abilities and gains flying. So it's really cool. And you can do this to all your creatures with its overload cost. So finally got one of these and happy to find a spot for it in my deck. And another foil, Blaze Commando. We saw that in the first pack, I guess. I don't think it was in here. No. And this is a 5/3 for 5. Whenever an instant or sorcery spell you control deals damage, put 2 + 1, 2 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield. So that's definitely a cool card. And Dimir Guildgate. 3. Haunter of Night Evil. Night Veil, excuse me. Sin Collector, great card. Crisis Incubation, this is cool. As one of our third uncommon here. And Sire of Insanity, a cool looking art on this one. This is a demon creature, 6/4 for 6. At the beginning of each end step, each player discards his or her hand. And look at that, three foils in a row. I guess it helps when you shuffle up. Mind Static, it's a counter spell. I mentioned to one of my previous videos, and I'm not sure how many people watch these, but no one's commented yet. I'm interested to know how this is playable, if it is at all playable, because it's a 4 casting cost counter spell unless its controller pays 6. So are you really using it in a scenario where you want them to bleed out their mana base? or are you actually using it to counter something? Because it seems like an awfully expensive counter spell, so you're really kind of, I guess, using it to, like I said, tap them out in a Gruul Gate. So 3 foils. All right. Pack 4. Almost like I'm opening Modern Masters, right? Speaking of Mind Static, there's another one here. But we'll run again into the great artwork on this card. Haunter of Night Vale this time. Unflinching Courage. And our third uncommon is a Give and Take. And another fuse card here. No foil on this one. It's Flesh and Blood, and it's a sorcery fuse card that has 3 generic, 1 black, 1 green. Exile target creature card from a graveyard. X +1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is the power of the card you exiled. And the blood portion is target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player for 1 red and 1 green, which is a great direct damage card. So no foil there. So I've noticed some of these tricolor fuse cards in Dragon's Maze, and they will play great in your if you're playing sealed, which I think Wizards is trying to propagate more the limited environment where you only have so many cards to deal with, and it is cool to see cards that'll play in multicolor like that, because the old standby is 2 colors. But more and more people are going 3, especially when in that format. Scab Clan Giant is our first uncommon. Korosda Gorgon. It's a death touch creature from Golgari. Third uncommon is Profit and Loss. And our rare, Legion's Initiative. Same kind of creature artwork here as the Dragon Shift. This is an enchantment for 1 red and 1 white. Red creatures you control get +1/+0. White creatures you control get +1/+0/+1. This is kind of cool. It's a Mythic card. When it's on your battlefield and you've got like a Boris Reckoner out there, he gets +1/+1. Since he's red and white. Red and white, exile Legion's Initiative. Exile all creatures you control. At the beginning of the next combat, return those creatures' cards to the battlefield under their owner's control, and those creatures gain haste until end of turn. So great way to dodge creature destruction. And a Boros Gate. That's 6 packs. 1, 2, 5 packs, excuse me. Pack 6. I've always liked the Boros Mastiff card. Kind of reminds me of a Hounds of, is it Konami? It's one of the Kamigawa block 2/2 for 1 white creatures. Showstopper is our first uncommon here. Warp Physique, non-foil this time. Our third uncommon's a fuse card, Give and Take. Sorcery for Simic. And a Teysa for our rare. It's a 7-drop 4/4 Vigilance Protection from creatures. And then whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, destroy that creature, put a plus or a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. I always want to say +1/+1 when they come out. But good Orzhov card, and with the 2 other Orzhov cards we've got already, these are looking like it can make a decent Orzhov deck, or at least pump up the one I opened already, which is a intro pack. Straight into pack 7 here. Like I said, I think we'll open up 18 of these, just go halfway to the full booster box. Keep things moving here. First uncommon is a Protect and Serve. Scab Clan Giant. War Leader's Helix, good card. I'll just read this one off. It's a 2 generic, 1 red, 1 white. War Leader's Helix deals 4 damage to target creature or player, and you gain 4 life. So great 8 life swing there. And Deathbridge Chant. This is a 6-drop enchantment. When Deathbridge Chant enters the battlefield, put the top 10 cards of your library into your graveyard. This is a Mythic. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose a card at random in your graveyard. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. So essentially a great way to pop something out into the battlefield that might have been in the top 10 cards in your deck, especially if you're able to search or go through your deck ahead of time with another card to look at what's there. But even then, I mean, hey, you've got pretty decent chances that if you've got a search, a great creature in there, it'll be coming up soon if you haven't gotten the first 6 turns, I guess, before you have the mana to pull this out. So pack 8 here. Far and Away, Feral Animist, Rot Farm Skeleton, Blood Scrivener is our rare. It's a 2/1 for 2 zombie wizard creature. If you would draw a card while you have no cards in your hand, instead draw 2 cards and lose 1 life. It's a great card. Definitely something you put in an Orzhov type deck. Azorius Guildgate. Nine. I'll just kind of fan through these. I'm sorry if I haven't been doing that. Pilfered Plant. Oops, excuse me. Toil and Trouble. Gruul War Chant. Putrefy. Actually, I was going to say I haven't seen a Putrefy yet, and they're one of the better uncommons. I'm glad to pull one of these. And Rurik Thar is 6/6 for 6, Vigilance and Reach, so he can block flying creatures. He attacks each turn, and then whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, this card deals 6 damage to that player. So great card. And a Stomping Ground. So finally pulled a dual land here. Not pain lands, not fetch lands. The term for these ones is a shock land because it deals 2 damage to you, much like the shock card would. So, what did I say? 9 packs in, 8 packs in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 packs in, and we got our first fetch land. Or I just told myself it's not fetch. For shock land. So there's supposed to be 1 in 11 packs, give or take. So it's cool to get 1 after 9, but that's academic. Maze Sentinel is our last common, going into Protect and Serve for our first uncommon. Maw of Obsidet is our second uncommon. Goblin Test Pilot. And Varel of the Hallclad is our rare. It's a 1/4 for 3 with red, excuse me, with green and blue, and tapping it. Each counter on target artifact, creature, or land. For each one, put another of those counters on that permanent. This would go well at a token or counter deck, like one of the actually Dragon's Maze Selesnya, Strength of Selesnya deck's got a lot of counters and tokens in it. I wouldn't for tokens, but for counters it's great. And an Orzhov Guildgate. That's 10. We'll go through 8 more here. All right. Showstopper, Woodlock Crawler. This is a good card for 2/2. You get a Forest Walk and protection from green, so it's a great sideboard creature to put in there. Wear and Tear, Boros Fuse card. And you have a Guild Champion here, it looks like. It's a Melek Izzet Paragon for 6 to 2/4 Legendary. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast the top card of your library if it's an instant or sorcery card. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your library, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copies. This is a really cool card. And it's just a rare. I, for some reason, thought that Guild Champions were Mythics, but maybe it's not a Guild Champion, or maybe it's... I've always gotten confused sometimes with the Mythics versus rares, sometimes it doesn't look like it's red. First uncommon is Toil and Trouble. Another Sin Collector, great card again. Species Gorger. This is a 6/6 for 4. It's our third uncommon. Frog Beast creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a creature you control to its owner's hand. And our rare is Beck and Call. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield this turn, you may draw a card for 1 green and 1 blue. And the call portion is 4 generic, 1 white, 1 blue. Put 4 +1. I keep saying +1. Put 4 1/1 white bird creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield. So for 6 mana, you're getting 4 1/1 flying creatures. So that's not too bad. Golgari Guildgate. So after those first 3 foils, we haven't seen another one. This is 13. Okay, we've got an Armed Dangerous, Spike Jester, Wear and Tear, and Advent of the Worm. Great card. And Rakdos Guildgate, tip card. So this is a 5. This is an instant that throws out a 5/5 green worm creature token with Trample. And since it's instant speed, you can put it out at any point, especially, hopefully, when your opponent's attacking. The Trample's not going to benefit you then, only on your turn, but it is only 4 to cast, so this is cool. And I haven't been really showing you off all the token cards, but the token for this guy, just probably like any other token specific to another card, is harder to find than the actual rare itself. 14 here. Zertov Druid, I kind of like that card. Because you can, it's just adding mana to your mana pool. But it's cool, it's kind of like a Manowar Elf with a little extra bonus here. Maze Glider. Bronzebeak Moa. Goblin Test Pilot. I just want to go over this one really quick. It's a 0/2 for 3. I always say I like it, but then I always remember that it's random, and there's probably a few better cards to play out there for Izzet where you can deal damage, and I hate really flipping a coin. But sometimes it's a last-ditch effort, and if you're playing Sealed, I wouldn't leave it out because it's random, because it can help you. 50-50 shot, or better chances of that if you're playing it in a two-headed giant format. It'd still be the same odds, but if you're playing Commander or something like that, it could be better. Down and Dirty. And our rare is Render Silent. So this is more the counter spell. It's up my alley. 1 white, 2 blues, counter target spell. Its controller can't cast spells this turn. So just for that 1 extra white on top of the 2 blues, you'd pay for a counter spell. Obviously, counter spell not being standard legal at this point, but you do get the extra component where the controller of the countered spell can't cast more spells this turn, which is cool. Golgari Guildgate tip card. All right, we're at 15. So no Voices of Resurgence, no foils after the first 3 cards. So this isn't a, getting the Advent of the Worm was great, and the Dragon Shift was great, but nothing spectacular here yet. Carnage Gladiator, Blaze Commando, Crisis Incubation. I've seen all 3 of those so far. And a Reap Intellect. This is a X, 2 generic, 1 blue, 1 black. It's sorcery card. Mythic. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose up to X non-land cards from it and exile them. For each card exiled this way, search that player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that card and exile them. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Most people think that when you cast this, you'd be casting essentially the X to mean exactly how many cards they have in their hand. But don't be afraid to cast with a 1 or a 2, because you really only need to find the 1 or 2 cards that are their bombs to remove them, especially if you're in a structured format or a standard type format where you know they're going to have more than one of a card, like they may not have in their sealed or draft decks. So a cool card. Don't be afraid to throw it out early if you're only casting it with with 6 total mana, opposed to anything more than that. Boros Guildgate. I'm not the biggest fan of this artwork. It's kind of desolate, barren, but maybe that's kind of what Boros is supposed to be like. And a soldier token. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 packs. So we got 3 more to go through here. And I don't have a RAL yet, but I like the artwork on this card. And there's actually a T-shirt you can get with his picture on it as well. From through Magic, through Wizards. Jillian Sphinx, Haunter of Night Vale, Rot Farm Skeleton, and our rare is Zerta Ancient. So 3 generic, 1 red, 1 green. Beast Creature, 7/5. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, that player adds 1 mana to his or her mana pool of any type that land produced. So you're really getting that 7/5 for a bargain, but the bargain is giving your opponent more mana than they really need. But you know, you're 5 turns in or 4 turns in, depending if you've got something to help you generate more mana. But at the same time, you know, that's kind of mid game, so you don't feel as bad giving your opponent 1 more, unless he's got that bomb card in there. So I don't know. It's kind of one of those cards where you're not sure if you want to pop in or not. And our 4th foil is Azorius Cluestone, Celestia Guildgate tip card. So 2 left here for this video. I'll open the second half later on. Interested to see all your thoughts about Dragon's Maze. I kind of like the fact that Dragon's Maze is the smallest of the 3 as far as number of cards go in the block. A lot of times the lesser of the 3 will be kind of buried in the middle. So it was, I think, back in Mirrodin block was the last time they had the small set be the 3rd and final one. Only, 129 cards, something like that. But a lot of them are reprints too. So you've got the new artwork on the guild gates, and that was just a Ascended Law Mage there, Flying Hexproof 3/2 for 4. And you've got the repeat fetch land. I keep saying fetch. Repeat Shocklands from Gatecrash and Return to Ravnica. Trostani Summoner, Kuros the Gorgon. I like the artwork on that one. Breaking and Entering is our rare. It's a blue and black sorcery on the breaking portion. Target player puts the top 8 cards for his or her library into his or her graveyard. And for 2, that's not bad at all. And then the entering portion is 4 generic, 1 black, 1 red. Put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield and under your control. It gains haste until end of turn. So that's great. If they've got a bomb and it goes in their graveyard, you take it and put it into your control, attack with it, and ditch it. It's dead again. Orzhov Guildgate tip card. So last pack here. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you have a second, can you hit the like button, subscribe? Be happy to do more videos as I am able. I've got a few other things here too, a few legacy type packs to open as well in the future. And I'm happy to go over this stuff. Alive and Well. Looks like we do have foil here. Bronzebeak Moa, War Leader's Helix. It's our our second uncommon, excuse me. Third uncommon. Trade Doctoring is our rare. It's a 1-drop blue with Cipher. So we're all right there. You get your money's worth. Change the text of target permanent by replacing all instances of one color word with another, or one basic land type with another until end of turn. So be smart about it, and it's a good card. And our rare is a our foil is a rare. A Merker Vosk, Mind Drinker, legendary. I think this is a Demir champion. It's a 2/4 for 5 with flying. Whenever this dude deals combat damage to a player, that player reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals 4 land cards, then puts those cards into his or her graveyard. So I'm of the mindset that this guy's a bomb, because you're milling them down and you're taking away 4 lands out of their deck. This is a no-brainer for sealed, and probably something you could play in standard as well. Rakdos, Guildgate, and tip card. So we've got a foil rare. I think 5 foils overall, and Advent of the Worm, and a few other good cards. So thanks for watching. Like I said, hit subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks a lot.